would like to start the national anthem.
Your Excellencies, esteemed development partners, distinguished guests, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. It is with great pleasure and a deep sense of purpose that I welcome you all to this significant gathering in furtherance of the local open governance initiative, LOGINaija Project, a transformative initiative designed to bring transparency, accountability, and inclusive governance to Nigerians' grassroots. LOGINaija has been at the forefront of redefining governance at the local level. In alignment with the Supreme Court's pronouncement of financial autonomy for the third tier of government, our mission is simple, yet profound: to unlock the potentials of local governance by empowering citizens, strengthening institutions, and fostering open participatory decision-making. Through the collaboration of the stakeholders and the beneficiaries, local governments, which are Gwagwalada, Umuahia North and Ibadan South-West, respectively, we can confidently say that grassroots governance has been defined and the story has now changed. As will be seen in the pilot,
We would like to showcase the project documentary.
The Local Open Governance Initiative in Nigeria, LOGINaija Pioneering Project, is proudly funded by the MacArthur Foundation and supported by Community Life Project, CLP Nigeria, institutions committed to advancing transparency, citizen inclusion, and open governance across Nigeria. LOGIN has worked tirelessly over the past months to strengthen systems of grassroots democracy, supporting local governments in building open, responsive, and inclusive governance frameworks that truly reflects the voices and needs of their people. Today, we mark a significant milestone: the closeout ceremony of the Local Open Governance Initiative, fondly known as LOGINaija. A journey that began with a single vision: to make local governance more transparent, accountable, and inclusive, has grown into a nationwide movement empowering grassroots leadership. At the heart of LOGINaija lies partnership, not just with institutions, but with people, the lifeblood of governance. These leaders didn't just make speeches, they made commitments by signing memoranda of understanding that affirmed their pledge to transparent budgeting, citizen engagement, and digital innovation. From Gwagwalada to Umuahia North and Ibadan South-West, the LOGINaija MOUs represent more than paper, their legacies in action. Capacity building formed the soul of this mission. In Gwagwalada, council staff were equipped with the tools to implement inclusive planning frameworks and community-responsive governance.
I elected as a leader, we always review for people with leadership. And this project is part of leadership to us. So I want governor to be either number 1 or 2 FCT on towns and projects. So please try to reach the network to be supported so that we include them also.
In Umuahia North, we elevated local councillors with participatory budgeting, citizen feedback tools, and digital reporting frameworks, in collaboration with respected institutions like ICPC, NILDS, and OGP Nigeria. And in Ibadan South-West, we built not just skills, but systems, long-term civic engagement models, public accountability mechanisms, and digital platforms for continuous citizen interaction.
Get your local administration to sign something to connect bursary, you see this improvement. Then because they are not, government is ready. The same government.
Login is people-powered, from elected officials to market women, teachers to tech-savvy youth. Together, we've built platforms that make every voice count.
Inside here, the Freedom of Information Desk is here, and we have an officer dedicated for that, and we believe that anybody who comes will definitely get whatever information he wants. So it's a very, very pleasant day for all of us.
The government are doing so much, but it's under the budget. And so that is how even the initiative about the OGP, plugging them to an issue about the website and FY address, so that people can see the good things that this council in particular has been doing, and the image will start beginning to correct.
Each local government area now boasts its own official website, customized emails, social media handles, live dashboards, and communication systems that didn't exist before, bringing government closer to the people. Today, we close a chapter, but the story is far from over. LOGInAija has ignited a spark, and with the continued support of partners, citizens, and visionary leaders, this spark will light the future of local governance across Nigeria.
We plug in the local government into OGP and introduce technology. When I mean technology, I mean website. And for people, because we also consider that this is the local level, that's the grassroots level, and we don't expect everybody to be connected to internet and browsing and maybe wanting to check on websites, right? So we have understood that, and we create an FOI desk. FOI is Freedom of Information Arts Desk at the local level. So we expect market women, people who cannot get the information from the website, they could just easily come to the FOI decks at the local level to get any kind of information that they want.
Inclusive in
Login. Unlocking local government potential.
In response to this development, the project team strategically shifted to a phased implementation plan. So what we did was not a phased implementation plan, and that was, we started with Gwagwalada, who was more stable then. They had, of course, Gwagwalada Election Council is different from other states in Nigeria. So we focused on Gwagwalada team, and they demonstrated early readiness and political will, and they were selected. So this proved to be a turning point. The council enthusiastic participation, transparent collaboration, and successful adoption of OGP local action plans laid a solid foundation for the rest of the project. This pilot phase enabled the team to extract critical insights, and that happened. Because of all this and some pushback we got from states, so one of the council has to be reconfigured and replaced to have an even regional distribution and spread, which I explained to us earlier, and that was how Ibadan South-West local government came here. So we're looking at navigating political terrain for broader reach. I told you earlier that we're also very concerned about that, because we wanted to see the reaction of different political parties towards this project, and so there was also a spread. And I'm happy to inform you that we did not repeat any particular political party, because we wanted to have that. This was a pilot project. So in Gwagwalada Area Council, we had APC-led governments in Gwagwalada Area Council, All Progressive Congress. Then in Umuahia North, which was also in the Southeast, we had a Labour Party led council. Then an Ibadan South-West, we had a PDP, your guest will be as my guest, a PDP led, and that was from Oyo State. So you can see that whatever we are pushing, we are submitting, we have seen the behaviors of different political parties. So we will say that the problem may not be, this, because we're now in a better place to be able to, make that. And those changes were very, very intriguing. So we move straight to the challenges. The implementation of this LOGInaija across this local government, like we have said, of course, challenges will be limited resources and budget constraints. You heard when we said we wanted to be a concurrent. Later, it didn't work. We had caretakers. You end up visiting states, going. After 2-3 months of series of meetings and visiting and waiting, you now hear that the election is now coming. Then new people will come in. The whole thing has gone. You start afresh. So these were the things. But that is part of it. Part of the things we didn't visit. The second was political dynamics and governance uncertainty. So you saw what happened. You come, president tell you cannot sign. I'm just a publisher and this. So the political dynamics that played out, and we're able to mitigate that. And that is why we have the result today. Then we have the timeline extension due to stakeholders' delay. The project that was supposed to have been ended, we had an offshoot of about 2 months because of the delayed, and thanks to the understanding of our partner who knew that. Then stakeholder engagement and initial reluctance. Of course, security buy-in from local governance, stakeholder require prolonged engagement. It's not easy, of course, when you go, some local governments at the first, their reaction is, they push back, because so you have to strategize to let them know what it's all about. Then sometimes you need to write to some authority, get some approval, do a lot of things before that can happen. But we navigated that, and that to us is a big experience today that we now have. Then the website development and digital integration.
Time and resources for the good of government administration in Nigeria. So, to the glory of God, we collectively unveil this report.
Clap, 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 clap.
Specialties and environmental affairs. That is one of our key mandates to ensure that the grassroots actually have a feel of what is happening in the country. I bring you warm greetings from the Federal Ministry of Specialties, particularly the Honorable Minister, Right Honorable Minister Funaya Salome, and the Transformative Permanent Secretary, the person of Dr. Yemiladu Maduka Omusoro. He assumed office as permanent secretary in February 2025 this year, and he has taken the bull by the horn to ensure and to implement the renewed agenda captured in the 8-point priority of Mr. President, the person of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR. Would have been here in person, but because of other national assignments, he has asked me to represent him and also to deliver his goodwill message, which I will read as thus. Chairman from local governments in Nigeria, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, partners, stakeholders in governance, it is with great pleasure that I deliver this goodwill message on behalf of the Federal Ministry of Special Duties and Environmental Affairs at this important occasion, the report sharing section of the LOGInaija Project implemented by Speak Out Africa Initiative in support from the MacArthur Foundation. Let me begin by commending SOAI and partners for this laudable initiative aimed at strengthening transparency, accountability, and citizen participation in local governance. The The LOGINaija Project represents a bold and timely step in reimaging local government administration in Nigeria. At a time when governance must be more responsive and inclusive, efforts like this reminds us of the transformative power of civic engagement and institutional collaboration. This ministry witnessed the launch of LOGINaija in April 2024, and today we are pleased to see how far it has come. I think it's a good place to go.
What I owe them, during my campaign period, I had a promise that I made to them, and they were actually based on going to render services to them. So their funds are there, it is meant for them, it should be utilized for them, and that is what I'm practicing. Just pray, it's actually the same thing we get out of Nigeria, then we should be heading out of the doldrums that we find ourselves in. Leadership is giving what they have given their verdict. The problem is with implementation. That lies within the civic, within the state leadership executives and also the local government administrators, the chairman, so to speak.
Thank you.
It's there. We didn't have it before they came on board. So when you get to the website, every information you want is there. Our achievements within this few months, they are displayed there. You can also ask questions. There are phone numbers you can call to get every information you want. So in terms of sustaining the benefits of this progress, it has to do the whole thing responsibility lies within. If I didn't value it, I won't be here. I spend money to fly myself down here. You know the risk of traveling around Nigeria today. I took that risk because I know the benefits of this very project. So I won't come here and jettison the benefits. So I am going back to ensure that we sustain the project.
My name is Kenneth. I'm the lead director of Speaker Public Initiative. This program today, our take-home are categorized into four. One is that we are calling for an expanded FAC representation. FAC is Federal Account Allocation Committee, monthly FAC. And our idea is that since the Supreme Court judgment has pronounced full local government international autonomy, half obedience is not obedience. So if the state has been mandated to conduct elections, which they have done, then there is no way up till now local government should be excluded from FAC, monthly FAC allocation meetings and committee. That is an error. That is an half obedience. So we are calling that the federal government through the Ministry of Justice and Equity of the Federation, the Ministry of Finance, and the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, OAGF, should, from next month, is already half of the month, from August next month, the local government should be included in the representation of the FAC monthly meeting. So, and by that, we are saying that each state should nominate a council chairman that will represent each state. So, we should be having 37 local government chairmen, including FCT, that should be involved and represented in the FAC meeting. Secondly, we are calling on the federal government and especially the Central Bank of Nigeria to take the matter of local government opening accounts with the CBN very seriously. We are saying and urging the Central Bank to give a directive, the same way directive was given for state to conduct elections, otherwise they risk their FAC monthly allocation, and they did. Then, in keeping and in compliance with the Supreme Court judgment that has given local government financial autonomy, it is unheard of that the federal government is still going ahead to disburse monthly FAC allocation into JAC, the Joint Account Allocation Committee, as against the directive that every local government in Nigeria should open an account that will be domiciled with the Central Bank of Nigeria. So that should be done. The Central Bank of Nigeria should give a deadline and a set timeline upon which any local government that does not comply to register an account with the CBN should risk her monthly FAC allocation.
Third, we are calling for political autonomy. That is the third one. We are saying that a financial autonomy without corresponding political autonomy is not going to have any impact. The current state independent electoral commissions that is still conducting the election of the local government is not acceptable. It does not meet any standard, democratic standard of election conduction. And so we are asking that the INEC, especially as the ongoing constitution is going on, the INEC should be given that responsibility, and they have accepted. They've already said it on many occasions that they can do that. So the INEC should be the one conducting the local government election in Nigeria, and that should happen as soon as possible. That is when we can be able to boast of a uniform election across board. As it is today, state elections for local government varies. Some states have 3 years tenure, some have 2 years tenure, and the whims and caprices of the state chief executives. There should be a uniform 4 years local government chairman tenure.
My ministry, first and foremost, the Federal Ministry of Specialties and Intergovernmental Affairs, is that linkage between the federal, state, and the local government. That's why this project, when it started, an officer was sent here to actually represent the ministry. Now, why did the ministry send an officer? So that the officer will be doing whatever the organization is doing, because we are aware that they are working at the grassroots level, and we are so passionate about the grassroots level. Even Mr. President, in his 8-point agenda, you can see the financial autonomy that is on board now. Mr. President is keen. Let developmental projects go to the grassroots. Let the impact be felt at the grassroots. You can't just sit here in Abuja, we are enjoying the good facilities, the road, the water that is happening here in Abuja, and the local people are suffering. So Mr. President has mandated all ministers to channel effort at the grassroots, and this Federal Ministry of Specialties, we are not sleeping. Especially my permanent secretary is a transformative permanent secretary, Dr. Obanuso in America. His absorption of his deployment as permanent secretary in the ministry in February. All hands are on deck in the ministry to ensure that the grassroots feel the impact of the movement. And this initiative is another good step, which is supported by MacArthur Foundation, and I think it will be sustainable. And to act as executive director of the foundation, we relate the civil society space with Speak Out Africa, and they are doing intervention at the local government level in terms of local government system to ensure that the citizens are linked up to what is happening in their community, and that policies are also connected to the people, as well as holding the leadership at the local level accountable through citizens' engagement. We in Clay Foundation have the same methodology of intervention because we work in the area of public safety, security, and access to justice. And we're beginning to think in the civil space that a lot of high-level interventions, national summit, and all the rest of them, and actually intervention and building the Nigerian people and governance should go to the grassroots, which is the local government level. Like we are talking in the meeting this afternoon, that if the local government are developed, then the states are developed. And if the local government are developed, the government at the federal level or the Nigerian nation is developed, because the local government is the smallest tier of government, small in the sense that they are nearer to the people, and we are looking at a situation where governance impacts on the people, and majority of the people are at the grassroots, which is a local government. There is nobody in Nigeria that does not come from one local government to the other. Even if you live in the cities are also divided into local government. So why can't we let the local government legal autonomy to thrive, as the Supreme Court has ruled, as well as give them financial autonomy also? And like we suggested this afternoon, that the
CBN or the Ministry of Finance should get the money of the local government directly to them and comply with the ruling of the Supreme Court. That's what we are saying. That if that is done, then we can as well hold the government, local government chairman and their team accountable. And when instead have to go through the state government, I think government has to determine what happens at the local government and that, and then development will be very slow, or if not behind. That's what we're experiencing now. Again, we want to say that the local government need to be freed in terms of political framework, in terms of financial autonomy, in terms of also the development. Like I was saying personally, let development be programmed via the local government, and let it not just be by word of mouth or in paper or practically. Even the federal government should begin to think about what intervention they can make at the local government level. When we say it could be too big for the federal government, yes, but they need to legally back local government to really be very sustainable in terms of development. And I think for me, I want to see the local government develop very, very rapidly, because that is the totality of the development of Nigeria. Thank you so much. My name again is Peter Madoman, and Trade Foundation Acting Executive Director. Thank you.